Before Josh Homme became one of rock's most recognizable guitarists, his path was shaped by a simple idea. Music did not have to follow the rules people expected. Growing up in Palm Desert, California, he found himself surrounded by a landscape that felt far removed from the traditional centers of rock. Yet that isolation would become part of his creative identity. How does a guitarist turn a quiet desert environment into a sound that eventually reaches audiences around the world? And what makes Homme's approach so different from the players who came before him? The answer begins with his earliest musical experiments, where patience, atmosphere, and individuality mattered just as much as technical ability. Homme first gained major attention as a teenager when he became the guitarist of Kias. The band emerged from the Southern California desert scene and developed a sound that felt spacious, heavy, and completely its own. Instead of simply chasing the trends of the time, Homme and his bandmates created music that seemed to reflect the environment around them. That setting mattered. The desert gave their music a sense of openness, while Homme's guitar playing relied on tone, rhythm, and space. He understood that a powerful guitar part did not always need to be complicated. Sometimes, one carefully chosen sound could create a stronger atmosphere than a page of notes. But that was only the beginning. After Kias, Homme entered a new chapter by forming Queens of the Stone Age. This was where his creative personality became even clearer. The project allowed him to explore different musicians, unusual arrangements, memorable grooves, and a much wider range of textures. The early Queens of the Stone Age records established a distinctive identity. The guitars were often thick and rhythmic, but the songs also contained unexpected melodic ideas. Homme could make a riff feel relaxed and powerful at the same time, creating music that was accessible without becoming predictable. What happened next changed the way many listeners viewed him. As Queens of the Stone Age grew, Homme became known not only as a guitarist, but as a songwriter and creative director. He surrounded himself with talented musicians and allowed different personalities to influence the music. That collaborative approach became an important part of his work. Albums such as Songs for the Deaf showed how far that concept could go. The record combined powerful guitar work with dynamic songwriting and a sense of movement that made the entire album feel like a journey. Few people notice how much restraint can exist inside that kind of music. Homme's playing is often less about showing everything he can do and more about knowing exactly what the song needs. He uses distortion, unusual tones, repetition, silence, and rhythm as creative tools. For a new listener, that may sound simple, but creating a recognizable sound from relatively simple ingredients requires enormous musical awareness. His influence also extends beyond Queens of the Stone Age. Homme has worked with a wide range of musicians and projects, demonstrating a willingness to step outside familiar territory. Those collaborations reveal another side of his musicianship: curiosity. Rather than staying inside one musical formula, he has repeatedly explored different combinations of rock, melody, rhythm, and atmosphere. Each new project becomes another opportunity to discover what a guitar can do. But there is something even more interesting about his approach. Josh Homme has helped redefine what a modern rock guitarist can be. He does not fit neatly into the image of the traditional guitar hero. His importance comes from the entire musical environment he creates around the instrument. His guitar sound can be instantly recognizable, yet the real achievement is how naturally it serves the song. That balance between personality and simplicity has influenced countless musicians searching for their own voice. And perhaps that is the side of Homme that deserves the most attention. His story is not simply about becoming famous or creating memorable riffs. It is about developing an artistic identity strong enough to survive changing musical trends. From the California desert to international stages, Homme built a career around experimentation, collaboration, and the belief that rock music could still surprise people. His legacy can be heard in the guitar tones, rhythms, and songwriting approaches that followed. But perhaps his greatest lesson is even simpler. You do not always need to play more to make people listen. Sometimes, the most powerful sound comes from knowing exactly what to leave out.